Hi, everybody. It's Allie. Just wanted to follow up on some of the things that I talked with Renee about a little while ago in our resilience series. Um, I don't know. I see so much growth exponentially in this community that it just brings me so much joy. And I just have oceans of gratitude for every single one of you. Those of you who are always there, who moderate, who chat, who lurk. I don't care. You don't have to participate, but your spirit is felt, whether or not you choose to tell us that you're around or not. And like I said, I don't think it really matters. If you're not comfortable doing it, don't do it. Um, uh, I pulled a card and it says the greatest contentment is knowing when you have enough and temptation is banished. Um, I think sometimes we are always looking for more of whatever it is. I know I have that. I have that propensity to, one is good, but two is better, and three, would be even better. But you can't find satisfaction out of material things. You can't find it in ways that might satisfy you totally, uh, except for self acceptance, self love, uh, living peacefully. Those things mean a great deal to all of us. I think that the the thing that I would like to say about my resilience through this, and I've mentioned a few things as I'm interviewing other people, but the thing that brings me so much comfort and joy is in knowing that I have this beautiful group of souls who decided to meet at this period in time. I always thought, when is it going to happen? When are we ever going to be together? When are we? I had this burning desire or knowledge many years ago that, something important, I think everybody has that in some ways, but something important was going to happen. And, on the scale of eternity, it's very low, probably. Not that it's low in my eternity or in my life, but I think, people think that they have to do great things. They have to save the world. They have to, achieve notoriety or make a lot of money or have a lot of friends. And they wind up very uh, empty inside. Because as you know, it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you have a disease, if you have a problem, it may or may not help you. It didn't help a lot of people that were ill, but had the money, but had no way of solving their other problems. And the same can be said with relationships. And of course, relationships are more than just male and female, female and female, male and male, mother and child, animal and caregiver. Um, we have all kinds of relationships, symbiotic relationships. We have troublesome relationships. We have times where we feel forsaken, or when we believe somebody is a certain way and we find out really that they're not, or perhaps even that they have another side to them that you just weren't aware of. And that can be good, bad, or whatever. But sometimes it's liberating. And I feel as though I have been very liberated. Not that I was tied in any way, but I was always told it was going to be in my later years where things were going to move forward for me. And I remember thinking, oh my God, that's too late. That's too far away. What's the matter? But I still took my time to progress through what it is I was interested in. And if that went from, tarot to the I Ching to Taoism to humanities to science fiction to whatever it is, all of those things prepared me for the life that I was going to live or was living. Through my journey, met so many incredible people who taught me things. They weren't my, a sage or I didn't worship these people, but they were very instrumental in opening my eyes to new ways of thinking, new ways of doing, new ways of being. My spiritual community that I had in Florida back in the 90s, I learned all about the Native American ways. And my teacher was a shaman whose name was Adela, and she was fabulous. She was so perfect. I had another teacher who taught me a lot about gemstones and rocks. I had another teacher that actually showed me about channeling. I wasn't too comfortable with the way that they were channeling. So, but I didn't think it was foolish or anything like that. No. And every reader that I went to as I was moving up through the years said, you're psychic. You know that? And I'm like, well, that's what everybody keeps telling me, but I don't see anything. But it doesn't have to be big. It's your intuition. It's your gut feeling. It's knowing that you know. I know that's a little confusing. Do you know that you know? Do you know that you know that you know? It's remembering. It's it's going back. It's starting from scratch. It's looking at things differently. Currently, I'm working through a tarot book, and the tarot doesn't really pull to me, but I'm very interested in the archetypal journey and the story behind the tarot because I'm a storyteller and an English teacher, so that makes a big difference to me. Finding out things I didn't know. I'm taking one card at a time. The other thing I'm doing is something that Susan Lynn just talked about yesterday. I'm a big journaler. So you should go over and listen to her channel because she can tell you exactly what you need to do. And I like to give credit where it's due. But it's a suggestion of one oracle card a day. And this is my second day. And I'm already feeling it. I'm already feeling the flow of the messages. I like what her guides told her. And so I think, if you haven't been able to see that, you should go see that. The other thing is, if you haven't seen Arlene discuss her growth and opening that she had the other night on Nasty Women, please go listen to her story. We're all just coming together to tell each other stories, to validate, to hold space, to understand, to feel connection. We hunger for that connection. And I think that it's important to reach out when you need to, but it's also important when you feel overwhelmed or that you can't make it through the day, that you take self-care, that you meditate, that you listen to your inner voice. And also, if you're feeling not well, you need to look at that as well. It's important. Your body tells you messages. Your spirit tells you messages. Your guides do, your angels do, your ancestors do. You've got a lot of messages there. And, you may or may not feel like they could be right because, I don't know. I heard it in my own voice and maybe I made it up. You didn't make it up. You didn't make it up. Suspend judgment. Move into belief. Try to stay as positive as possible. I was telling a lady today at the grocery store. I said, how are you today? And she said she was fine. And I said, that's good. She said something like, I could have been better or something like that. Something like that. And I said, I always try to find at least one thing in a day that's crummy, that was good. Even if it was that I realized that I was able to do that I was able to find something positive. It's not dismissing negativity. It's not dismissing anything. It's just turning your focus over to the other side and starting to think in a more positive way. What is it that you want? What is it that you need to do to attain that? Is it a want or is it a need? They're different. A want is usually something that, I want to get my hair cut. Do I need to get my hair cut? Yes. So those align really well. But a lot of times we don't really need what we think we want. We know that because of iPhones and cell phones. Everybody has to get, not everybody, but everybody wants the newest something, and then they get it and it's great and they love it. And then the next day it's, yeah, it's okay. It's just a thing. But then the next new one comes out. Oh, I want that. It has more buzzes and whistles and things on it, Anyway, I feel very grateful to be part of this community. I feel very grateful to have you all as subscribers and interacting on my channel, and also doing the same thing for all the other people that are here, just trying to walk each other home. And I love the fact that there really is no competition. It's a lot of collaboration. And if it's not collaboration, the messages are moving from the negative into the positive. We need to step away from retribution ideas. We need to step away from wondering why this happened. This COVID happened. Why did this politics happen? Why are people so weird that are running our country, or why is it that people don't get a vaccination, or whatever it is. I don't. I think I have to just say to myself the same thing, and I'm not biblical really, but forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. And the karma bus will take care of it. And if something happens to you, instead of feeling that retribution for that thing that happened, just remember, everything goes in circles. That person will have that horrible thing or whatever it is, and from a different person or from a different situation, because you can't get away with being against other people and hating them and judging them and moving toward that end, and not have something bounce back in your direction. It's not pleasant, and we may never see it. We may never see it, or you may never see it for someone else. But there is always consequences. There are consequences. There are responsibilities we all have. We don't have rights without responsibilities. And we don't have consequences without having made those decisions to hurt or whatever that other person. First and foremost, love your heart. Let it go. And remember, too, that holding anger and judgment does not hurt the person that you are holding it for. It hurts you. It increases your blood pressure. It makes you angry. It creates dis-ease. Disease. If you're not in alignment, then you are not going to, you're going to have disease. You will. It's a consequence. And I'm not a doctor, and this is for entertainment purposes only. But it's a loving message and oceans of gratitude to every single one of you on your own personal journeys and for what you have done in my personal journey. It is a pleasure to know you all. It is a pleasure to call you a friend. And even though we may never meet in person, or we may never talk one-on-one, I want you to know I appreciate you. I love you. And I just feel like you're part of my life now. And I think it's important to say that. I think it's important to say thank you. I think it's important to be grateful. I think it's important to share the love. So, sharing from me to you. I love you. Take care of yourself. And let me know if I can help you in any way. If you want to come on and you want to talk about your own resilience, I would love to have you. Don't wait for an invitation. Just go ahead and reach out at heartandsoulconnected@gmail.com. We'll make it work. All right? Love you guys. Namaste.